LAH.
Oh. Now I know. I've seen that in the Bible now.
Wow.
Okay.
You need to read your Bible when you read your
That's
Bible.
how you pronounce
You need to read your Bible when you read your Bible.
Sela?
Okay.
Sela?
because like CH school, so
S-E-L-A. S-E-L-A.
I was thinking of S-E-L-L-A. What is that?
What is
Salala? What is it? S-E-L-L-A.
It's not. Say it's
Stella.
It's say Stella.
Stella.
Stella. The T fell off. Stella got a groove back. It's another movie remix.
There you
They
go
need
with
to
them
make a part
shoulders.
two.
Right, right.
Why are you so sunny?
And bubbly.
And perky.
And bright.
That's because she's young. That's what
And
it is.
positive. Oh, how
Oh,
young
I'm about
are
to
you?
be 23
Mm-hmm.
next month.
In February.
I wish I could go back to
Valentine's Day, baby.
23.
That's why you guys love me.
No, that's why your parents know. We draw you a picture.
I have a question. What would you do? What would you tell yourself if you could go? What would you tell yourself if you could go back to 23 and know what you knew now?
Have to remember 23 first.
Wow, Jesus. No, let's just say you could go back to 23, but you can go back knowing everything that you know right now.
Don't come back to the U.S.
Really? Really?
Yes.
You can always go back though. Like
Where I was then, like, now that I understand that travel can literally be a lucrative business, there's a guy, Kevin Hoffer, he literally travels the world and takes yoga pictures. That's all he does with his life. That's it. I don't know what he does or how he gets there.
Trust fund,
But
baby.
that is literally it.
That's that rich folk stuff.
But I actually read where I read his, and I'm attracted to him because I read his journey. He worked for 3 years and saved up everything. Like he downgraded, sold everything because he knew that 9 to 5 wasn't for him and he wanted to see the world and do yoga, and that's what he did. Now that I understand that those options are available, back, you wouldn't understand because you're about to turn 23, but back then it was very much taught you have to work 9 to 5, you got to do this, you got to, like, it was a strict regimen and it was a cookie cutter for everyone of mankind. I don't know who broke the mold somewhere, but people started doing something different.
So if you would tell yourself not to come back to the U.S. and then what else would you do?
I would continue traveling. I traveled for the fun of it, knowing that it would end. Not ending as a point to where I never get to travel again. It was just like, I'm working here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna live it up, next assignment, live it up. I would have literally been planting seeds to determine which one of these countries is going to be my home of residence until death do us part or the Lord come back. I traveled them knowing that there was always another one coming, knowing that there was always another assignment. So although I made great friends and I still have them there, although I saw great things, I learned a lot, I did not grasp it as to, if you go visit somewhere, you're like, I could really live here. Now at this age, when I travel, I look at the real estate where I'm going. I go to New Orleans. Okay, after Katrina, what is real estate like here? You know, what if I don't want to stay in Charlotte forever? So I travel with a more mature intention of this may be somewhere I want to live. I would have told 23-year-old me to do what you're doing, but find out of these 20 places, which one is going to be your final destination.
So with that being said, why do you still live in the U.S.?
The means and opportunity, I no longer work for the Pentagon. Traveling that way was at their expense.
Okay.
It didn't cost, I made money doing
traveling.
that. Right.
Okay.
Which is why I would have planted seeds. I would have bought property. I would have invested or something like that. Not working for the Pentagon, I don't have a trust fund that allows me to travel to that extent, that often, into those places.
If finances was not an issue, where would you go to? No, seriously, where would you want to go to take up residency at?
There are two places. There's a place called Udine, Italy. Udine.
Never heard of it.
Italy. It is in the northeastern part of Italy, and it's probably about it's probably about an hour away from Venice.
They're famous for oodles and noodles. That's where oodles and noodles were born.
Actually,
I can remember it that way though.
Actually, Udine is where they do wine tastings to determine the level of wine. like if it's high grade or low grade or mid grade or something like that.
So that's one place. Where else?
So Udine, believe it or not, my second favorite place, I wouldn't live there because it's still very tarnished and dangerous, is Afghanistan. The people there are the most authentic people of all the places I've ever lived to meet. If you can be in a country where there's war for 40 years and you still have birthdays and you still, like, they are greatness under no stipulation. There's bombs going off and a happy birthday to you. Like, they're still celebrating every single day to the fullest. They're not all, Taliban doesn't come from Afghanistan. They move there because it's a central area between the Irans and the Pakistans and
So it
everywhere
would be
else.
Udine, Italy.
Udine, Italy, Afghanistan, and I think Mauritius. Between the Maldives and Mauritius.
What is that? What is Mauritius? It sounds like
Mauritius is southeast of Madagascar. So Africa, then the island of Madagascar, and then further out is Mauritius.
Well, I've never heard of that. What's out there?
Beauty, earth, our people.
Bugs, mosquitoes.
There's bugs everywhere. A gorgeous ocean. I mean, it's an island. It's just phenomenal. That's my travel. I don't go to the Jamaicas and to the Bahamas and to where everybody else goes. I look for places like literally where it's Sri Lanka. I don't want to live in Sri Lanka, but I go, like, that's where I wanted to go when everybody else was going to Caicos and Turks and Caicos. Great, love it, enjoy it. I'm going down here.
Next question for you. If you could go back to 23 and know everything that you know now, what would you tell your 23-year-old self?
Keep doing what you're doing. I had a wonderful, wonderful 20s. I had a wonderful, wonderful 30s. My experiences, my life then, I was settled. I was married. I had a child. I was making 6 figures. Didn't want for anything. Life was great.
So you wouldn't change not one thing?
Wouldn't change one thing.
So you're glad where you're
wonderful.
at right now?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. When you were 13.
What'd you tell 3-year-old you?
To not touch stuff. I promise you, my dad told me this one story where there was a cabinet where we had figurines, and I was probably like 3-ish.
You call them figurines. My mom called them whatnots.
Whatnot?
I call them tchotchkes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, knick-knacks.
Yeah.
And I would go 3 times. I would run. Elena, don't touch that. No lo toques. Touch. Run away. Come back. Elena, don't touch it. Touch. Boop. The 3rd time I came, I touched it and it broke. He didn't even have to say anything. I just looked at him and I just started crying and I just went to the room. And he was like, Elena, you
get beat? Oh, Lord.
She was devastated.
He just had to look at me and I just knew. I knew, like,
That's how I was
I'm
with my
never
kids.
going to do that again.
That's how I was. I just looked at my
felt-
kids and they just crumble. They just saw the disappointment and the shame and the hurt and the pain.
Right.
The punishment, the disappointment is worse
Than the punishment.
Yeah.
Right. Miss Divine, 23-year-old you.
Yes.
23-year-old me?
Why he laughing like that?
Don't ask him. Go ahead. We're here with you.
Thank you.
And one.
Because this joke is to my right. 23-year-old me, if I could go back, I would tell myself to exercise a whole lot more, eat much better, cleaner, and remain a virgin. I would have rather have saved myself for my husband. Yeah, because it came with transferring of spirits and a lot of disappointment. And I invested years upon years upon years into one person, and then years upon years upon years into another person. And I wish I would have saved myself the trauma and the drama and the stress. And so basically taking care of my body better and saving myself from a spiritual aspect, being more disciplined with my life. And I would go right back to that, and definitely those are the 2 things that I would change.
We can't go back and tell our 23-year-old selves to plant seeds in countries that you want to live in, or you
Right.
know, to eat better, or to not touch anything. You're fine. You're perfect. Your life is amazing. So we don't have to worry about you. So what is the mantra to yourself now? Knowing what I can't change it. So what is my mantra now? What's your new
Well,
mantra?
for me is to invest and build, even if I'm building alone, and I say alone right now, meaning with partnerless, investing in real estate and investing in things that's going to create generational wealth, and staying on a healthy eating regimen and being more disciplined with that. And I've been celibate for a long time now. We're talking years, so it's cool there. But the eating habits,
Why are you smirking?
yeah, he
turn
is.
that way.
He really is. Yeah,
Just smiling.
the eating habits definitely takes
More discipline.
more discipline than
Everything
other
else.
thing. Yeah. So that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at now. Growing spiritually, growing financially, and working towards a better physical state. Yeah,
Well-being.
physical health. Yeah.
Definitely. I know for me, I've just continued to be a good steward of the relationships that I have in the countries
That's good.
that we speak about. I was talking to one of my friends, and he and I discovered that we have now known each other longer than we've not known each other.
Oh, that's nice.
So we literally met in our teens, and we're in our 40s. So it was like,
yeah, that's look at it.
like literally, and not one of them people like every blue moon, but like we can. Let me tell you what this girl just did, because that's typically the call that I get from him. But just investing in those relationships so that when opportunities, because there's places that I'll still get to go back.
Yeah.
I just won't live there. But at least if I have those connections and those relationships there, I am not a tourist
Right.
the second time.
Yeah,
I was a
yeah.
tourist the first time because I was getting to know all those places.
yeah,
but
yeah.
now, just doing that. Are you just not going to touch nothing else?
Yeah, well, okay. Well,
Yeah.
since I can't go back 10 years. I will go back to when I graduated high school, because I would say is a big milestone in my life. Yeah.
Transition.
Transition, yes, a major transition. What you laughing at?
What you talk about, Willis? That's what that look was.
Put glasses down. I would say, not to be a people pleaser. Realize that nobody's gonna understand what you want to do or what your vision is or anything other than you.
Unless you write it down.
And make it plain.
Make it legit. Yes.
So that others might be able to follow.
Yep.
Affirmations. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And that's one thing that I started doing, writing down, making a list, point blank, period, clear out in the day what I want to manifest, what I want to achieve, and doing. If I would have done that back in
high school.
in high school, it wouldn't have been as chaotic of what I wanted to accomplish.
Gotcha.
It would have been just jotted out. I would have been able to see it in plain sight, like a vision board in a sense.
Right.
Question. Is not the chaos a part of the journey? Because as everyone graduates high school, being a milestone, trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, trying different things, experimenting with different things, trying to find your true authentic self. Is that not a part of the process?
Yes, and I feel like that makes the process even more genuine and authentic because everybody's chaos is different.
Exactly.
And in
it
that
propels
sense,
you into who you are today. But I think
era.
we have to go through the fire, go through the mishmash, go through the cloudiness to be able to come out on the other side, being the best person that you can be. So I think it's part of the process, and we should embrace it. A lot of times people try to run from the process and run from the chaos, but sometimes we need to run to it and run through it.
it
Get
made
to the other
you
side.
who you are.
Yeah.
I heard a sermon from Transformation Church. It says, "My glitch is my gift," because nothing you've done or will do is going to take God by surprise. So that very thing, that thorn that seems to be in your flesh, it keeps you humble and keeps you at the cross. If he removes that thorn, then you may run off on your own and forget about him. So understanding that I recognize here's a weakness, like they say, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. But if you stay before God, if you stay in prayer, if you stay out of the bar, stay away from the triggers that you identify, it doesn't mean that the potential to return to that life isn't there anymore. You're just doing better. So that's how they placed your glitch. Could be the gift. It could be the very thing that you've gone through. There are going to be some young ladies that you can minister to that I cannot. I can talk to them, but I can't relate to them. There are going to be men that you can speak to. I can encourage them, but you can actually emote and transfer your message and your experiences better in the same way. So I think if we don't look at the chaos as much as, I wish this had been different, I wish it would have been better, whatever, but let me use this now as a gift to either help somebody not go through what I went through, as I learn from my mistakes, either that or, use it as a platform to empower and build up. Sometimes people just use it as a crutch, though.
I have a
As an
sidebar
excuse.
question. Is that a catfish on your arm?
It's a
It's a koi.
it's a koi fish.
It's a koi.
It's a koi fish.
She
It's for
said
my
a
mother.
cat. I would have scratched it off if it was a cat.
This side is all for my mom. And
Owl.
Elephant.
Yes.
I have a peanut in the middle of the elephant because my nephew, I call him Peanut.
That's cute.
So I'm the elephant, and
Let me see.
He's a peanut.
Why are you the elephant?
She's bigger.
kind of
She's a
innocent.
protector.
Where's the
My
peanut?
second
Right
episode,
there.
The Elephant in the Room, it talks about understanding people,
Right there.
just being grounded, humbling, and
The
I feel like
trunk
I'm the elephant
and the
in the
trunk
room
is
in my
holding
family, like the black sheep in a
peanut.
sense.
So why not do a black sheep versus an elephant?
Because she already black. And then yeah.
Because she's sheepish.
What's that say?
Oh, that's the one that Coach Times has.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He has
The
that.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who's Carlos?
My uncle,
Okay.
He's
What
still
happened to
living?
him?
he passed away. He had colon cancer.
Mm.
Yep. And then I have my.
And what's that?
Oh, she about to strip.
Oh, no, that's just your elbow.
Well, I'm trying not to. And then I got
She got that right there.
sun and a moon.
Oh, she finna take it off.
No, I'm trying to keep it on. And
Oh,
then
okay.
I have my mom's birthday and then my dad's birthday.
Excellent. You getting more?
I am.
I thought
Why?
Cause it's just I feel like
so. Once you got your first, you were addicted.
yeah, and I feel
It's a
like
drug.
huh?
It's a drug.
It is, and being a creative person, I feel like it's a way to express myself in a sense.
That's what pen and paper for.
Yeah, but it's like I'm like canvas, like I'm my walking story.
But you had a great artist to do shading because dark complexions don't always transfer the tats as well. But
Like you
come
know,
in.
Yours are done well.
Very, very.
Just don't blow up and
detailed.
swell up. Because that fish
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
start
it's
looking
gonna
like
be-
a...
It's gonna be a
Gonna turn
whale.
into an orca.
A whale.
I'll go from a koi to an orca.
Definitely don't want that.
Definitely good.
Thank you. I need to fill in the spaces though.
But it's gonna happen.
But
You're gonna be disappointed 20 years from now.
oh no, I'm not.
Yes,
sound
you
like
are.
see, you sound like my daddy. He was like, Elena, don't come to me when
I've
you get those
taken
removed.
a
and you
survey, and I've asked consistently over and over again hundreds of people who have tattoos. If you had to do it all over again, would you? A lot of them said no. A lot of them
'Cause they had a
said I
face
would have
tattoo like
done
this.
it differently.
Like Tyson.
A lot of them put stuff on their body that
And his
now
name
they
Jimmy
regret.
Smith instead.
Some people put their boo's name and now they divorced. And people have made different mistakes and they are
See.
now regretting it 20, 30 years later.
I understand why you put your parents' birthday
I was
on
say,
you
yeah,
because that's never gonna change.
Absolutely.
Right.
The only other, my kids and my parents will be the only names I will have on my body. Husband could digress because once I get married, we ain't divorcing. But I'm just not. I don't.
Yeah.
Gonna bake you a sweet potato
Yeah.
pie.
And from that, you gonna end up.
I'll be a widow before I be a
you gonna
divorcee.
You're gonna be a people pleaser
Who?
You.
For what?
for your husband.
Put my name on put his name head? No.
If it's an ultimatum,
Because my ex, he was like that. He was like, "Are you gonna get my name on you?" No.
is this
No.
3-carat ring?
No.
Here's
I'll
this
take
trust
that.
fund.
I'll take that, but you-
but the condition is,
And love shouldn't have a condition.
but it always does.
Thank
we
you.
talk about unconditional love, but that's the Jesus agape love. And because none of us is Jesus, none of us have that agape love.
Ain't nobody
And
got no tattoo
unfortunately,
condition
there's
on their
always
love.
conditions.
Everybody got their
That's the
tattoo.
reality.
Family,
condition on
you-
That's the reality.
You are tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community.
What's my name? What's my name?
What's my name? That was fun.
Preach for what?
Because he
What
knows.
was that?
It's